What is up, boys, and welcome back. Today we have a very important video. We are going to be having our 1000 subscriber special. Now, before I get into anything at all, thank you guys, of course, for 1000 subscribers. It does mean a lot. Now, I have actually hit a new all-time high within my portfolio, and we will be going over that today. We're going to be jumping into each one of my holdings, taking a look at how many shares I own, what my average price is, what my market value is, and of course, what my profit or loss is on the shares that I own. Before we jump into our individual holdings, let's quickly take a look at my portfolio's performance, where you guys can see that we're currently sitting at $65,284. And over the past week, we are up around $3,559, or around 5.75% of my account. Now, this is actually up almost 7 grand from Tuesday lows, where we were down 6%. So this is actually a very bullish sign that we are bouncing back at this rate. And you guys can see over the past month that we are up around 4.5K, or around 7.21% of our account. Over the past 3 months is where it gets spicy, though. We're up around $22,000. Absolutely killing it over the past 3 months, around 51.87%. If you guys want to let me know if that's beating the market, I'm not very sure. I think the market's up around 6% or around 20% actually from those April lows. So I think we're just about doubling the S&P 500 right here. And now on the year-to-date chart, we are absolutely exploding past the S&P right now, up 36% in this long-term portfolio, or around $17,285 of net gain. Now, I have actually locked in a lot of this profit, which we will go over in a little bit, but I am now up to over $2,800 locked in just this month alone from realized profit. Now, before we get into it, once again, guys, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Not only is that a huge goal for me, but it has helped me reach my milestones that I continue to hit week after week in my portfolio. $65,000 is nothing to joke about, especially as a young 19-year-old, and I couldn't imagine doing this without you guys. So thank you guys yet again. And let's go ahead and jump right into this video, taking a look at our first holding. Jumping into our first holding within today's video, we're going to have Robinhood. Now, this stock has been absolutely killing it over the past 3 months, where we have seen it up over 108%. And it gets even better on the year-to-date chart, where we see it is up over 172%. Now, we have played this stock multiple times, running it up from around $20 to $40, then back down and all the way back up to around $105 where we are today. Now, you guys can see from my returns here, we have around 150 shares, so I have trimmed off around 50 shares, but this leaves our average cost at around $43.21, where we are now sitting at a market value of almost $16,000. This actually got up to over $20,000. This was my first time I've had a holding well over $20,000 in equity for the first time in my life. Now, I did go ahead and trim off some shares just because I was starting to get a little overweight, not because I don't like this company, but just because I've made such a great profit, where you guys can see I'm up around almost 150%, or almost around $10,000. What my plan has been is every time I hit around $10,000 or get over that five-figure mark, I go ahead and trim about 5 shares off, just bringing myself down to around that $9,500 mark. And then I just rinse and repeat that so I can continue making a little bit of profit as I am exiting my shares. Now, I am also thinking about selling a covered call if we are to really rally soon. I do believe that there is a world where this company does see $120 to $140 before the end of this year. And if we are to see something north of $140 to $150, I would really think about selling some covered calls, A, for the premium, and two, to work my way out of this position if we are to get overvalued. Jumping into holding number two here, we're going to have HIMS. Now, this has been a staple in my portfolio for quite some time, and after their recent 30% drop from that Novo deal just about a month and a half ago, I did go ahead and buy even more shares, bringing my total up to around 290 shares. And over the past month, you guys can see that this thing has rallied back around 36% gain after those drops. And you guys can see that when I told you guys that that Novo deal meant absolutely nothing, I was correct. And you guys can see that in the share price still being up around 92% over the past 3 months, which is absolutely killer. And you guys can see here that I currently have around 290 shares at an average price of $32.08. And this brings my market value to around $16,709. Now, I am up almost $7,500 on this position, or around 80%. Like I said, I brought my average up after we did hit that recent drop with the Novo deal. And like I said, that Novo deal isn't going to impact the stock at all. And I still have this stock reaching over $100 possibly by the end of this year, definitely by the end of Q1 2026. Now, this stock has been absolutely killing it with returns like this. I'm expecting to see over 200% returns, which will give me almost a $20,000 gain within this single position. Very excited to see what HIMS has coming up. And with their TRT releasing soon, I think that this $100 target could come very fast. Jumping into our third stock here, we're going to have Oscar Health. And now, quickly before I get into the stock, I just want to let analysts out there know that if you continue to downgrade Oscar Health with growing financials, growing revenue, income, free cash flow, etc., that I am going to have to use my Brazilian Jiu Jitsu background, my MMA background, and my boxing background to maybe take you out because I am done with these shortings. I do not think that this is a stock that you need to be shorting right now. Over the past month, this stock is down over 30% after analysts have downgraded it. But if you guys go look at the financials, which I have posted on multiple videos on my channel, which you guys can check out, this company has over 100% gain in revenue quarter over quarter and year over year. This company has free cash flow gains of over 100% year over year, and their revenue is finally flipping profitable. This company is absolutely killing it, and this is what you guys are going to see right before this stock rallies to around $45 to $60 over the next 2 years. Now, over the past 3 months, we're still up around 16%, but you guys can see I have around 850 shares of this stock, and I am down around $850 or around 7%. Now, I do not care about that because what I just told you guys, growing free cash flow, growing revenue, growing incomes, analysts are shorting it. It's all bullish for this stock. Analysts are shorting it down so that Wall Street can get in. It happens every single time. It happens with Palantir. It happened with Hood. It happened with HIMS. It happened with SoFi. Millions and millions of stocks it continues to happen with. And it happens to be right before a big explosion. So, anyways, you guys can see I have around 850 shares, average price of around $15.45. And that brings my market value to just around $12,500 with all of my equity thrown in. Now, you guys can see that I am down on this, but I do not think that will last long. Like I said, I have multiple videos out there on my channel where I do believe that this stock will see over $45 based on just financials alone. And that is just based on financials right now. This company is looking to grow even more by 2027. So I believe by then there is a possibility that we could see north of $100 depending on this company's growth. But just as today, we are looking at a $45 to $65 price target over the next 12 months. Jumping into stock number three here, we're going to have Zetta Global, where you guys can see that we're coming in at $16.16. Now, year to date, this stock is actually still red. And over the past 3 months, we are working our way out of that red up around 21%. I believe that this stock is looking great in this falling wedge right here, where I have multiple videos posted about it. Now, as I scroll down to my position here, you guys can see I have almost 600 shares at an average price of $14.83. Now, this brings my market value to almost $10,000, where I am up almost $750 on these shares. Now, that does bring me up almost 9% right here, which is looking pretty good. But like I said, I believe that this stock has much more in store. I believe that this stock will see not only $30 by the end of this year, but I believe by next year, this stock can see north of $40, where that would be around a 300% return from prices today. Now, the last three stocks in today's video we're going to group together. And the first one we're going to be looking at is Oaklo, which is actually one of my favorite stocks in my portfolio because I continue to rinse and repeat this stock over and over and over again. We have made over 100% on this stock 3 times, and I'm currently up almost 50% for the fourth time on this single stock. You guys can see just year to date alone, there was 2 chances for us right here. We made 100% just up into February for the first time. Now we have made over 100% almost 2 times working our way back up here. Bought back in at around 20, sold at 40, bought back in on this cup and handle, and we are looking to sell again at around $85. Now, I do believe that the stock will work its way up to 100, and I am working my way out of this stock currently, where you guys can see I did have 150 shares, and I've brought myself all the way down to around 85 shares. The next two positions I am working on building out, I will show you guys what I've allocated these shares to, but I did sell almost 70 shares of what I have, and I am looking to sell a little bit more coming soon as the share price does increase. But you guys can see I'm up around 41%, and this is over just the past month where the stock is up around 33%, so about a month and a few days. And over the past 3 months, the stock is up 212%, absolutely insane. Now you guys can see that I currently have 85 shares at an average price of $53.25. That brings my market value to just over $6,388. And I am currently up around $1,800 on these shares, resulting in about a 41% gain in total. Now, I have sold over 65 of these shares, resulting in about a $1,400 gain that I actually locked in for a realized profit. Now, I am going to tell you guys what I allocated that to just in a second, but that is a really great gain to see just after holding the stock for about a month. That is to see that I've made over $3,000 technically, and I still have around $2,000 and change to make, with this stock going up to around $100 for my top target by the end of this year. Now, with all this newfound capital from Oaklo and Hood shares, it is important to reinvest your cash that you have on hand. And I've looked at Symbiotic and Honest. We're going to go over both of these, and these are my newest positions within my portfolio. Now, Symbiotic is coming in at $53.26, and I have just bought in around 50 shares at an average price of $54.31. Now, this brings my market value to just about $2,600, where I'm currently down around $52 or around 2% on these shares currently. Now, nothing too crazy to go over there. That is going to be Symbiotic. I can post a video coming up soon, which I plan to do because this company is looking to break out of a 5-year little wedge right here. So I am very excited to see what these shares can do for me moving forward, and I cannot wait to add more. Now, I have allocated the rest of this cash into the Honest Company, ticker symbol HNST. Now, this is a new buy within my portfolio as well. You guys can see that I have around 300 shares at an average price of $4.66 for a market value of just around $1,500. I am up around 6% on my shares right now for about a $90 gain, and I expect this stock to see almost $10 by the end of 2026. Now, I do believe that this stock will see another small pullback before we do get that run to $10. So I am looking to get over 1,000 shares right now, where I'm currently sitting at only around 300. I would love to get to 1,000 shares before we make that push to 10. And I do think that with a year-to-date time frame looking like this, around 28% loss on the year-to-date chart, and looking for this company to flip profitable, this is just going to be a really good flip for us to make. Just about 100% gain in what I expect to be just about 3 to 5 months. Now, this is going to be a very good stock moving forward as Jessica Alba's beauty brand is really taking off. This is, of course, her company where they're actually looking to turn profitable just after about 3 years since their IPO. Now, this is very, very impressive for this company. And with their free cash flow, revenue, and income growing, I believe that this is a great stock to take a shot at. And with such a cheap price, this is just a really good risk to reward for me personally. So I would definitely take a look checking out one of my shorts that I recently posted, where you guys can check that out in my bio. But I did post a chart over there where you guys can check out my full thesis on Honest Company. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to see a chart on either Honest or Symbiotic, as they are my newer positions. All right, guys, and that was my $65,000 portfolio for our 1,000 subscriber special. Once again, guys, thank you so much. Of course, you guys will never know how much this means to me, but thank you guys for everything that you guys have done for me and will do for me in the future. I know that you guys will continue to be supportive, and I am so, so thankful for that. So make sure you guys do continue to slap that like button, hit that subscribe button, join up on our free Discord, and comment down below what you guys want to see next. I have a lot of charts that I'm liking right now that I'm looking to post here to YouTube. So let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.